Hi everyone, my name is Sky, and in this video I'll be sharing with you my tips and tricks when it comes to treating eczema. Now this video is the third video in my video series of how to treat eczema safely. So in this video I'll be talking about how eczema can be treated via vitamin supplementation, origin point medicine, and addressing any thyroid issues. And under our first point, vitamin supplementation, you might be asking, why should you take vitamin supplementation? The first reason being soil depletion. As minerals are getting depleted from the soil, there are less minerals in food. Number two, digestive diseases such as leaky gut can cause malabsorption of minerals. Number three, chronic disease and medication use is at an all-time high. So as you take increasing amounts of medication, including antibiotics, this affects the gut, which is responsible for absorbing any minerals and vitamins from our food. So now we move on to the vitamin supplementation regimen that I use to treat eczema, which are probiotic, magnesium, B12, fish oil, and vitamin D. Now let us move to the first point called probiotic. What is probiotic? Probiotic are live bacteria and yeast that are good for you, especially for your digestive system. Now probiotics supports immune function, reducing inflammation and promoting healthy digestion. Now in this video, I will also be talking about the brands of vitamins and supplementation that I use. And the brand that I use for probiotic is Super Life Complex. Now the second item I'll be talking about is magnesium. Now magnesium is a vital mineral for the body, and according to research, a magnesium deficiency is associated with just about every illness. So also what happened is that the research also found that people dealing with eczema tend to do better after they have taken magnesium supplementation. And the brand I use is Cordial Aminos Acid Chelate 750. The third point I'll be talking about is B12. Now, why should you take B12? Now, the reason why you should take B12 is because vitamin B12 benefits the central nervous system in many important ways. And when vitamin B12 is extremely low, almost every cognitive function can suffer. Now, the brand I use for B12 is B Complex Plus, a brand which is under Pure Encapsulations. Now, this is a recent brand I've experimented with that was recommended by my functional medicine doctor. Prior to this, I was using multi-B vitamin from Blackmores. Now, the other item that I take is fish oil. Now, why is it that I take fish oil? Basically, to get my omega-3. Now, it is said in one study, people taking fish oil equal to 1.8 grams of EPA experience significant reduction in symptoms of eczema after 12 weeks. Now, researchers think that this may be because fish oil helps to reduce leukotriene B4, an inflammatory substance that plays a role in eczema. Now, the brand I use for fish oil is Vita Health by Vita Omega. And one tip of how to choose a good fish oil supplement is to check the amount of EPA and DHA levels contained per capsule. The final item to note is vitamin D. Now, initially when I was starting my recovery protocol with my doctor, I bought vitamin D drops that I had to store in the fridge, and I would just drop it under my tongue to get my vitamin D's levels up. But I'm in favor of actually exercising outdoors in natural sunlight and trying to get vitamin D through the natural way as much as possible. So if you find it difficult sometimes to be able to exercise outdoors in natural sunlight, I would like to encourage you to exercise outdoors on the weekend. Because once I was able to get my vitamin D levels up, I experienced tremendous recovery in recovering from eczema. One tip is when you're trying to pick out a good supplement and also trying to decide which brand of supplements for these items that you would like to try, I found that by talking to the pharmacists, they're able to advise you further which is a good brand of supplements to try. And also they're able to give you some feedback or things about supplements that you should look out for. But having said that, the number one priority is to gain as much as your vitamins and minerals from your food through adopting a paleo-veg diet where you eat whole foods that are not processed. Now, the question that you may ask is that, do you need that much supplementation when dealing with eczema? Well, my personal experience is that I find that supplementation helps a lot because you're able to deliver a certain dose of a vitamin or mineral into your system, and you're able to regulate it and also be systematic about it. Of course, yes, you should be getting your vitamins and minerals from your food. However, I feel that just as a little bit of a safe side, through the treatment protocol to deal with eczema, it's always best to do a blood work with your doctor, get your doctor to interpret the results of your blood work, and then decide on how much is the dosage of vitamins or minerals that you should take over a specific period of time. Then over a specific period of time, you're able to feel their benefits or results from that vitamin and mineral supplementation. Then you can proceed whether to increase the dosage or lower the dosage, and that is based on your doctor's advice. Now, before I get into my second point when it comes to treating eczema via origin point medicine, I first came across origin point medicine through my mom. Now, my mom is someone who takes care of a diet. She exercises daily. And her exercise group tends to share a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to health. So they introduced her to this thing called origin point medicine. Now, you may be asking, what is origin point medicine? Origin point medicine is a system that originated from China, where it strengthens the body's self-healing mechanism with heat energy and origin point massage. Now, you may be asking, where does the heat energy come from? It comes from two sources, which are internal heat source, for example, consumption of ginger, chili, pepper, and physical exercises, versus external heat source includes using an electric blanket. You may be asking, who is the founder of origin point medicine? Now, Dr. Chang Chao Han discovered origin point medicine when he was trying to relieve the aches and pains of his wife, who was dying of cancer in 2003. Now, during his discovery, he actually stumbled across this particular protocol, and he conducted clinical trials on thousands of patients and refined his techniques in origin point medicine. Now, when I came across this protocol called origin point medicine, the general philosophy behind origin point medicine is this: your body will do the healing of any illness, disease, or disorder when it gathers enough heat or energy from internal and external heat sources. So what are the 3 principles of OPM according to Dr. Chang? Now, the first principle is anti-massage, which is a press and push manipulation massage technique. To be effective, the pressure while doing the anti-massage must inflict some pain on the patient, but it's usually bearable. Now, here is a video clip about anti-massage. If you would like to go for anti-massage, you can look at this particular link in the description box below, or also I put the link in this video. And also, one thing is that if you would like to learn about how to do anti-massage, there is a Facebook group that talks about classes, and also you'll be able to learn these techniques and also help your family members. Or if you like to know where you can get anti-massage, you can pose this question to the Facebook group. Now, the second principle of OPM is Wenfu, which is also known as thermotherapy or heat therapy. Now, this means increasing patients' heat energy with external heat sources such as a heat pack or electric blanket. So typically, after you finish an anti-massage, you'll be advised to keep yourself warm and use an electric blanket for at least 1 to 2 hours after you have finished the anti-massage. Now, the third principle of OPM is jiangtang, also known as ginger water, also translated as ginger tea. Now, this ginger water must be prepared and consumed according to the OPM style as the main source of increasing the patient's body heat energy. Now, I'll be talking about the third principle of OPM called ginger water. So what is so special about this ginger water? Now, there is a specific formula when it comes to preparing ginger water and as well as consuming ginger water according to OPM. Now, I've written a blog post about this particular ginger water recipe in my website on Learning Giant. But in short, the formula for preparing ginger water is like this. Boil 5 grams of dried ginger slices and 600 milliliters of water using a slow cooker to cook overnight. It's about 8 hours. So this is what it looks like. On the left, you have dried ginger slices, and you can use a digital weighing machine to help you weigh how much ginger slices you should put. Then on the right hand side is what it looks like once you have boiled the water. So basically what is so special about OPM is that the methodology and the measurements of preparing ginger water is very precise. Also, when you're consuming ginger water, you must consume it during the daytime and you should sip it when it's warm. Now, the verdict is when you first start to drink this ginger water, you will feel a little bit of a burning sensation. But however, try taking small sips gradually and you will end up getting used to it. Now, the trick when it comes to OPM treatment protocol with dealing with eczema is that you have to combine both Antoi massage and also ginger water protocol. Now, previously, I used to go to a therapist to do Antoi massage for once a month, and I used to drink ginger water every single day without fail. One important thing to note that with this particular ginger water is that it heals inflammation in your gut. It is important to keep to a strict diet as much as possible and also combine it with OPM ginger water treatment protocol. That way you're able to speed up recovery when dealing with eczema. Now, I would like to stress that the key to recovery from eczema is basically maintaining a paleo-veg diet, which I mentioned in my second video in this video series on how to treat eczema, and also implementing a strict OPM ginger water treatment protocol. Now, the question you may be asking is, do I still drink ginger water until today? Well, personally, I've been drinking ginger water from about 2 years when I was going through my recovery phase with eczema. And as of now, I've pretty much stopped drinking ginger water as much because I feel I no longer need it. Now, in this treatment protocol, you may be asking if there are any things that you should avoid. Now, OPM treatment protocol basically calls for people to avoid cold, chilling, cooling foods and drinks, including fruit juice diet, raw food diet, and processed food. I know this statement will sound very controversial, but having said that, because Origin Point Medicine treatment protocol came from China, and I think it's a little bit cultural influence, whereby Chinese people don't really consume a lot of raw food and fruit juice. Now, another thing to avoid with OPM treatment protocol is that it advises people to avoid chilling and cooling medication and treatment, for example, cold compress. Now, I noticed that the Chinese treatment protocol and the Ayurvedic treatment protocol tend to share some similarity because they both ask people to avoid consuming cold, chilling, cooling food and drinks because they emphasize that you should not shock your digestive system by putting in food or drinks that have a very cold temperature where your body has to work double time to able to deal with these temperature changes. There's a third point which I'd like to talk to you about, which is addressing thyroid issues. Now, during my first initial consultation with my GP, we decided to test for thyroid function in my blood work, as he mentioned that thyroid issues could be also contributing to eczema, and if I was able to address my thyroid issues, this would enable me to treat eczema more effectively as well. Now, in this case, it is because a low thyroid function affects your system. Now, and this is because there is a linkage between your thyroid function and your skin. Now, the reason being, if you're having a low thyroid function, this affects your gut health, and in return, what happens in your gut does not stay in your gut. It affects your entire body. So your gut health will also impact your skin. Now, there is a blog post I stumbled across when I was researching the connection between thyroid and eczema, and I pretty much put the general gist of it over here. I will also put a link to this blog post in the show notes below this video. Function. Now, the blog post basically says that the thyroid hormones contribute to keeping tight junctions in the stomach and the skin tight, so that they stay sealed and don't let stray molecules in and out. Now, having said that, thyroid hormones also helps intestinal mucosa cells to get to full maturity. Now, when intestinal mucosa aren't fully developed and tight junctions begin to loosen, you'll begin to see symptoms like leaky gut syndrome, food sensitivities, gut symptoms, fungal overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth, and including eczema. All these symptoms makes it tough for your body to process and excrete toxins. The more your body holds on to these toxins, the more we begin to see the physical manifestation in the form of rashes and other skin issues, including eczema. So, what was the treatment protocol that I used to fix thyroid issues? Step 1 was to adopt a paleo-veg diet. I've addressed this in my second video of this video series, where I talk about it in pretty much detailed format. Step 2 is to use compounded thyroid medication. Now, prior to embarking on compounded thyroid medication, I had done the blood work. My doctor reviewed the blood test results, and then he advised me to embark on this compounded thyroid medication. And then after a space of a year, I discussed it with my doctor, and then we got the blood work done again, and we were able to see that yes, my thyroid functions have gotten back to normal. Now, the reason why I've embarked on compounded thyroid medication was because that when you're dealing with compounded thyroid medication, you're able to play with the dosage and also ensure that thyroid medication does not have any fillers, including a genetically modified substance like wheat, corn, or soy, which can be damaging to your gut. So I would say that you should always do the blood work to check what is your thyroid function prior to embarking on a thyroid treatment protocol. And you should always embark on treatment plans with your doctor's supervision. Now, one book that I would like to recommend that you read when it comes to understanding further about thyroid issues is The Thyroid Connection by Dr. Amy Myers. Now, this book covers the following topics: how to work with your doctor to get the correct diagnosis, what blood tests should you be asking for, and as well as what do these blood tests mean. Number 3, how to find the right type and dose of supplemental thyroid hormone for you. Number 4, the role of gut health, diet, toxins, infections, and stress in thyroid dysfunction. So overall, in this video, I'd like to recap that I've shared with you 3 things that have contributed to my treatment protocol with dealing with eczema, which are vitamin and mineral supplementation. Number 2, origin point medicine treatment protocol. Number 3, addressing your thyroid issues. Now, if you have any further questions on this video on how to treat eczema, feel free to drop me a comment or question in the comment box below, or you can reach me at the following social media channels.